Scoring a penalty is something to celebrate, but nerves can strike even the most talented soccer player. And with the World Cup knockout stages here, strategists are looking at the psychology of the spot kick. They might also turn their attention to the research conducted by University of Bath sports scientist Ken Bray. Bray says he's devised the perfect penalty, beginning with what may seem obvious, placing the ball outside what he calls the goalkeeper's diving envelope.
It's about the maximum reach he can make, diving in any direction to make a fingertip save. If you can place the ball outside of his diving envelope, you should be successful almost 100% of the time.
But Bray says there's more to it than that. He says the coach should have identified his 5 penalty takers long before the game begins. If teams are deadlocked after 120 minutes, each of those players can then be ready for their role in the decisive shootout. Bray also dismisses the conventional wisdom of making your best penalty taker go first.
Your less experienced players are more susceptible to nerves, anxiety, reduction of technique when their turn comes. So if you expose them to the penalty earlier, you minimise the period at which they have to wait and become more and more anxious effectively. So less experience first, more experience last, produces a better result on average.
Some coaches say practising penalties is pointless because shootout tension can't be reproduced during training sessions. But Bray disagrees. He compares the poor record of the Netherlands, who have a 1 in 5 shootout win ratio, with Germany's 83% winning record. These players agree with Bray that the secret lies in keeping a clear head, aiming for the unsavable zone and not changing your mind during the run-up.
Technique on the day was to place the ball on my right foot and go to my right.
I actually picked a spot that I was going to try and hit it to. Fortunately for me, it was spot on.
Nick Croucher says goalkeepers must use any trick to put off the penalty taker.
When the player's walking up, I'll have the ball in my hands before, so then they'll have to come to get it off me. So then, as they're walking back, I'll step out a little bit, step out, so then ref has to tell me to step on my line, just get into the players' heads.
2 of the past 5 World Cup finals were decided by penalties. For many Italian fans, Roberto Baggio's miss against Brazil in 1994 was a black mark on an otherwise illustrious career. Bray says this year's World Cup coaches should feel free to contact him for advice on how to avoid their own penalty kick heartache.